Yes, originally there was, as I was referring to earlier, the scientific paper about the explosive residues. One of the co-authors of that paper actually obtained some information from the National Institute of Standards and Technology, and from that made those records available. And scanning those records, I noted that some work was in the year 2000 scheduled to be done, and in fact mandated to be done by a property assessment group that included major work upon the major supporting columns of the World Trade Centers inside the elevator shafts, which included rust treatment, asbestos abatement, and this was all mandated to be completed within 1 year's time of the December 2000 date of that report.
Right.
People such as popular mechanics always say, well, if the World Trade Center was destroyed by a demolition, how could it be done in plain sight? Well, apparently there was a significant opportunity to access the vital areas of that building in order to do that. And yes, and eventually it was, found by myself and others that there were certain contractors that were doing this work, and one of them was an organization known as Turner Construction, who were working there up until the very morning of 9/11. The World Trade Center was under the ownership of the Port Authority of New York and New Jersey, and they do have freedom of information laws, and I asked them for some information about this organization, and they claimed that the records for all the work that was being performed by them was destroyed on the morning of 9/11. And it's a curious group. It's a curious organization. The CEO at the time is someone who's has enjoyed a very close personal or professional relationship with President Bush. And curiously, a couple of years before 9/11, also constructed the headquarters of the organization, one of the two federal organizations who were heavily involved in the development of the nano-explosive materials that were later found in the World Trade Center dust.
Hold on a second. Now, you're saying that this company that was responsible for renovation inside the World Trade Center was also responsible for the building of a company, or the buildings of the company that created an explosive substance that was later found to actually be at the World Trade Center? Is that correct?
Yes, it was a division of the Department of Defense known as NAVSEA, or the Naval Sea Systems Command. A division of that organization is the Indian Head Naval Surface Warfare Center, and currently they are now regarded as the leader in the development of nanothermite, which was apparently found in the World Trade Center dust.
And there are tests that have been done that show nanothermite inside the World Trade Center buildings?
In dust samples collected, yes. There was a peer-reviewed scientific study done by Kevin Ryan, Stephen Jones, and others, about 9 other co-authors, and they determined that this was highly engineered stuff that would not be found in your tool shed, your backyard, or anywhere else. This is, highly engineered stuff, nanoscale materials, iron oxide, aluminum, and they were able to actually test some of this stuff in the laboratory and found that it was generating extreme temperatures and it was highly explosive. And yes, one of the only two federal organizations at that time who were developing this stuff was the Department of Energy and the Naval Sea Systems Command, the division of which was the Indian Head Naval Surface Warfare Center in Maryland. And interestingly, Turner Construction, who was working heavily within the World Trade Center up until the very morning of 9/11, all the way back until to the late 90s and maybe mid-90s, actually, in fact, also constructed the headquarters of this organization, one of the two organizations who were developing this stuff, circa 2001.
Wow. I have to say that one connection right there is enough to really make people raise their eyebrows, I would hope, and to really want to ask some more questions. Aiden, I hate to tell you, we're down to about the last minute of the radio program here. Sure. Is there anything, you got some contact information you want to put out there if anybody wants to get a hold of you?
Yeah, well, they can find my blog online. If they just do a Google search on my name, 9/11 blogger Aiden Monahan, it'll probably pull up the address for my archive where it's located at that site.
Okay, and folks,
there really is no more specific specific address than that.
And I want to let everybody know, if you don't mind, if you got a pencil out there, Aiden is Aiden, and it's Monahan, Monaghan, Aiden Monahan. And also, this interview will be available back up on the internet at positronproductions.com here within the next few days. So, yeah, people will be able to go there and get that information anyway. Aiden, you know what? It was I hate to say it, we went through our time way too fast. I want to thank you for being out there with me this morning, though, okay?
Sure, and thanks again for having me on. Nice talking to you.
My pleasure, and I'll get in contact with you again soon. Folks, that is the radio program today. I hope you stuck with me. It was a little rough on the beginning, but we were able to get through it. Mr. Monahan's got some great information out there, and he's done some great work. I hope you folks take what he's done as an example and get out there yourself and submit your own FOIA requests. Remember, every Friday morning at 9 a.m., this is Speak Out Radio. We come to you live from the beautiful studios at KLAV. And until next week, folks, I guess this is it, and we'll see you next week. So have a nice weekend, and, yeah, bye.